Yeah, just gonna do a live. You can see the water looks quite a bit better. A lot of these I don't do. I don't talk about fish so much. I don't talk about the koi, but that's the koi's kind of the center focus of the channel. So yeah, I mean, if you've seen the last couple of videos I did, the water was kind of cloudy. I thought it was just particles in the water or whatever. So, but I started testing the water. I've got quite a bit of filtration, so it shouldn't be an issue. But I started testing the water, and the nitrates were very high. I was surprisingly high, to be honest. So I've done a number of water changes over the past week. You can see, if you've seen my last videos or something, the water was kind of dingy. Everybody knows that dingy water doesn't necessarily mean unhealthy water, and clear water doesn't necessarily mean healthy water. You can have ammonia or nitrates or whatever in the water, and it'd be perfectly clear. Or you can have murky water, like you can have algae green water or dingy looking water, and it'd be perfectly okay for fish. You can't go by the clarity of the water. That's why you need the test kits. So I say that because I really wasn't worried too much about it being dingy. I thought my filtration was keeping up. I even added another second, I'll call it a backy drum. It's not really a backy shower because it doesn't have the layers in it, but it is raining through the media to have the backy shower or the waterfall effect. So adding that filter, and I thought there was no issue with the filtration, to be honest, but after doing some testing, I did notice nitrates were really high. Now it has been feeding season. I've been overfeeding for 3 months, and I've got a waste chamber in the back or whatever, so I do get the waste out of the water column once, twice a week, depending on the season or whatever. But hey everyone. Yeah, so I don't typically go live. I just thought I'd do one and talk about the water. If you can see for people just joining, the water is a lot clearer than it was in my last couple of videos. I've had to do a number of water changes lately. It's been feeding season. I've been feeding 3 times a day, a pretty good amount, 3 times a day since early spring, since as soon as the water starts getting warm, and if they hit that season or whatever. And I've probably got in the back part of the pond, the whole back part of the pond is a filter area. It's probably got 1,000 gallons of filtration in the back, not counting the 2 showers here. So down here in the back of the pond is all filtration, and then it pumps up through UV light here, and then goes through the backy shower back into the pond. And then I've added this one recently. If you saw the video, I did a little short video on that. Try to hello everyone. So I did, the biggest thing about keeping fish is the water quality. And like I said earlier, being clear, having clear water doesn't mean good water. You can have very clear water that's full of ammonia, or you can have dingy, murky water that's perfectly clear. It goes back to the ammonia, the nitrogen cycle, if you know what that is. So fish produce ammonia becomes nitrite, and then nitrite ultimately becomes nitrate, and then that's usually where people start with the cycle because, you know, if you've got an aquarium or whatnot, usually as your nitrates build up, you do the water changes to, you know, to keep the water quality good. But the nitrogen cycle in nature, actually nitrate becomes nitrogen through what they call anoxic bacteria or anoxic filtration. And that's any filtration you got that's, you know, doesn't get any oxygen. Like the deepest part of the filters down here have anoxic filtration or anoxic bacteria in there. So typically year round, I don't have nitrate problems. I don't have any type of water quality problems because the filter keeps up with it, and they'll take the nitrate and, you know, take the oxygen off, and it'll become nitrogen and gas and come out of the water. That's what happens in nature. So, but when you overpower the filters, you start having to deal with it. And I just thought the water was a little murky. So, but then I started testing, and I noticed a couple of flashing. I said they're flashing a little bit more than they should be. And I was like, okay, what's going on with, you know, why are the fish flashing? And so I tested the water because, like I say, most of the time during the year I don't need to test the water. Yeah, there's no fishing. Someone asked, can you go fishing? And then I think I'm going to get a big sign that says no fishing. Yeah. So what about you guys? Do any of you guys you keep fish? You got aquariums? You got ponds? Yeah, I've got, this is probably 5,000, I think it's 5,200 gallons of water in this pond. So you can see the whole pond build on my channel. If you go, the main video shows how we built this pond. Me and my youngest son and my pop built the pond. It took quite a bit longer than anticipated, but yeah, I come out here every day. I mean, I spend time out here. It's kind of my sanctuary, if you will. I come out and, you know, this is where I pray most of the time. This is where I relax before starting the work day or after work or whatnot. So it's just cool. Yep. So, I mean, that was really it. I was just going to talk about the nitrogen, I guess, a little bit. I've had to do, it's almost 100% water change over the past week. That's why it looks so much clearer. And I was concerned, to be honest, because I was doing 30% water changes, and then I'm not seeing any improvement in the nitrate. I was testing tap water and everything else, but now there's 0 nitrates in the tap water. So it really is just the overfeeding during the feeding season. So, but they're all doing well. Everybody seems happy. All right. Check you next time.